So Nikola stock NKLA appears to be rallying within a longer term bearish trend, driving its MACD above its signal line, and it's up. It gained 19.26% in the regular session of today, the 14th of June 2023, on above average volume of 87.6 million shares. And it is believed that it is rallying because it rallied because the Fed has paused its interest rate hikes, and it's believed that it's a positive for Nikola, because Nikola is still growing and still needs funding. As such, the hedge funds that provide those funds will find it a lot easier to borrow. So what we saw last year and before, I would say all the way, when I would say the last all the way towards maybe 2019, when we saw very cheap lending. It was what funded a lot of companies like Nikola and all that stuff. But be very careful. There's a good chance we're not going to get back to very low interest rates. There's a good chance we're not going to get back there, because it seems the Fed has been signaling this, that we are going to go back. There's a good chance we're going to go back to a regime where they don't interfere in the markets. They don't interfere in the markets. They don't provide cheap credit. Interest-free lending. There's a good chance that's going to pass. There's a good chance your mortgage might get towards double digits. So the era of 0% interest rates, from the Fed or from the fund rates, Fed fund rates may be a distant past now. You may not come back again. So if market participants are reacting to the pause of interest rates, well, maybe they are reacting that because of the fact that maybe at least things are a bit stable now, or going to be a bit stable. But in any case, they reacted because, according to what Investor Place and some other publications are saying, because the Fed paused its interest rate hikes. Because interest rate inflation is ebbing, it's slowing down, but the economy is also still very strong. So the economy is still very strong. The U.S. economy is still very strong. The Fed also, it's good, but the Fed also is not absolutely very happy at that. It's not as if the Fed is not. Maybe not. That's not exactly the best choice of words. But in a strong economy that the U.S. has right now, it means employment is likely to be very good. Employment rate of unemployment is still very low. The Fed wants it to be high. The Fed wants unemployment to be high, because when unemployment is rising, then it's into inflation. It cuts inflation back. But it's now seen that inflation is moderating. Maybe that's why it now paused interest rates. Its major focus is unemployment. So I know I have digressed, but that's the nature of what Nikola has brought. Nikola has it seems it has its hands in what the Fed is doing, which is interest rates, and that's by association with the hedge funds that lend, that provide the funds it needs to keep growing. So that's how Nikola seems like it's a broad market stock. That's how it's looking like. It's a stock that has a very broad appeal, going all the way towards touching macroeconomic issues, So, but in any case, that is amongst the things behind this rally we are looking at right now, in 19 points, ultimately a gain of 19.26%. But we can actually see what actually happened today. So the gain was actually more than that. So we have that it reached 1.17. So let's see, 1.17. It gained 0.17. So 0.17 was okay. Let's do that maths. Okay, 1.09 minus 0.17. 0.976, 0.914. So at some point it reached 1.17. So 1.17 minus 1.17. So actually, okay, the gain actually was at some point 28%. Again, 28% at some point. So this is the 1 minute chart for Nikola in this post-market session. It has a downward projection of 1.08 and all the way towards down towards $1.1. Okay, and but it has upper projections of 1.11, 1.13, 1.15, 1.16. We have this is 1.18. This is above the highs of this session. 1.18, 1.21, and 1.29. So those are the projections for Nikola. Rallied on the news that the Fed has paused interest rates. See what you make of all of these, and indeed Nikola stock, and I'll continue to update you. Thank you very much for joining this live session and watching this video concerning Nikola.